doing tonight? You good? Good. Alright, so this morning, in part of my daily self-care, I of course went past Greg's. Do you have any fans of Greg's in the house today? Yeah? Alright, so I was there today and I said to the lady, please, could you put both of my pies into one packet just so that I don't look like a gluttonous pig? She looked me up and down and said, it's a bit fucking late for that, mate. So I said, what are you implying? She said, well, I've seen you sit here and eat your pies before. When you sat at a right angle, the mass of your stomach is equal to the circumference of the entire area around you. I said, first of all, if that's a reference to Pythagoras, you got the math all wrong. And secondly, are you trying to make an intellectual's fat joke? She said, who's joking? So I didn't go back there. Today, I won't be going back. But either way, pies have always been a big part of my life. I like most of them. There are some pies that I don't like. One of the most revolting pies that I ever heard of was, of course, steak and kidney. I thought, who would ever use that as ingredients to go into a pie? That is the most revolting thing I'd ever heard of. Until I heard of shepherd's pie. Don't worry, they do not actually put shepherds in there. I just used to think that pastries were literal. So you can imagine my disappointment when I ordered a tart. On top of that, any fellow stoners in the room would be able to get my anticlimax when I ordered a pot pie. The rest of my work placements in ICU was dead boring. But the best pie that I've ever heard of in my life was actually the best named pie was in Penzance. Any people of culture will see where I'm going with this. What the people in the pub decided to name this pie was the Pie Ritz. It only came with one eye. But underneath it, it at least had a nice little saying that said, yeah, I'm the Cornish pasty now. That was quite a decent note. But nowadays they're remaking a lot of films. They're trying to make them a lot more modern, a lot more diverse, a lot more international. And I was thinking, what if they had to remake American Pie? Yes. But instead they make it in Scotland. Now, you see, as far as show business goes, in terms of the film industry, I doubt the Scottish movie would be an independence. That's the one only problem. But if anybody doesn't know the plots of American Pie, basically the protagonist puts his penis into a pie to know what having sex feels like. Now, American Pie is apple pie, nice, wholesome, good. But Scotland, being Scotland, and the way they're a little bit more edgy with their food, I'm not too sure exactly what this man might put his penis into. So this is my 3 suggestions for what they could call that movie. It would either be That's Not a Mars Bar, Short Crust Cow's Arsehole, or Sturgeon Crumbled. One of the three. But if they do call it something like Deep Fried Bestiality, The Guardian would probably say it's a new gender expression, Peter will try and get it cancelled, and David Cameron would get called in as a special advisor. Because he's done that type of thing. But pies have been a big part of my life. I grew up in South Africa, I'm from South Africa, and as you guys will know, when we go home, we don't stop and get a kebab, we drink and we drive home. Some people might look down on that, some might laugh. But we don't just drink and drive, we also smoke a lot of weed when we do it. You have to. After all, this is South Africa, and we have to make life as difficult as possible for the carjackers or hijackers, as you might call them. So we're driving there, if you comply too much, you lose the car. But if you're driving and you don't even have hands on the steering wheels because you bought 2 pies that don't come in the same packet, it makes it rather difficult. But I'll finish this up. This will be my last joke of the night. This is actually a true story. I thought I'd leave this with you. When I was growing up, I knew these 3 sisters. Not only was their surname Pie, but I had a finger in every one of them.